Welcome everybody to the newly renamed channel of Himsl Games, where you can find out all about games that I made or that I am reviewing. This is my top 10 list of games I played in 2021, not necessarily games that came out that year. There are a few really good ones, but it was actually pretty hard to fill this list with worthwhile games. Guess it's harder and harder to please me. Or maybe I already put all the good games on the other list. Alright, let's just start right off with number 12, Pine. When I first played this game, I thought to myself, you made a shit of piece game with your trash Pine, you little fucker. It's fucking bad, this trash game. I will become back my money. And I did. I refunded the game. I found the tutorial was annoying and stupid and the controls sucked. But then I thought, maybe I should try it again. It does look so charming. Maybe it can make up for its awful controls. Turns out this game has a really cool system where you can conquer cities for your favorite race of furries. Or you can use diplomacy and trade to upgrade these cities. But sadly, they completely botched making a good game. They were telling a story that was completely at odds with the mechanics of the game. You're supposed to find a safe place for your tribe of humans to survive. So why would the game have a system of territorial conquest if you can't even conquer territory for your own tribe? What's the point? I'm supposed to find a safe place for my people, but meanwhile, why don't I meddle in the geopolitics of these furry kingdoms? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I just hate this so much because it's such a cool system. You know, there's this city, what can you do with it? You can be nice to them, you can trade with them, you can attack them, you can kill them all. And when you kill them all, what happens? The buildings get destroyed. You can't attack the buildings directly, but they just crumble as there's no people in the city now. I guess the buildings are just a symbol of the prosperity of these people. So if they're dead, then the buildings disappear. And then what happens next is that another group of animals will move in and they'll build their own city here. And that's really cool. But then, like, why would that not show up on the map, for example? Like, if you have that, then why don't you have a colored map that shows, oh, this city is here and this is... Like this is colored in these animals, but no, it doesn't have that. And it has a really cool system where it shows like how much each faction of animal likes you, and you can kill one faction to gain favor from another faction. That's really cool. Like one of my favorite games, GTA 2, has that. But in that game, it made sense because it was always balanced. There's always this many people liking you, many people disliking you. But this game has this cool system, but then it thinks, oh, how about we make it so that now everyone hates you because you're human? What? Why do you have this system if now I can only have one ally? Really? That just wastes my time now. Now I just have to commit a genocide each time I want one faction to like me, and I can't even have more than one faction liking me. It's so annoying. And the combat is bad, and the inventory is way too small, and you never can carry enough. It's so frustrating. I have this love and hate relationship with this game. There's so much cool assets that went in, and the story is there, but it doesn't work with the mechanics at all. And yeah, I don't know, that's why I included it. I spent all the time playing this game, hoping it would get better, but you can play it if you want to play a really interesting game with really frustrating mechanics. Alright, number 11, Desloop. This game is also very interesting and also apparently not very satisfying to play. It's like Groundhog Day, the game, but even more interesting because you can travel to 4 different maps at 4 different times of day. It's very cool to see the differences of how the levels look at each time. Sadly, the huge missed opportunity here is that it doesn't matter at all if you use stealth or if you murder everyone. All that matters is that you look at the plot important puzzle piece to figure out the perfect day that allows you to kill all the 8 VIPs. Another huge issue is that there's only one correct way of doing it. You'd think there'd be a super secret way of doing it that would be better and give you a different ending, but no. And equally, the way of finding the correct path is long and boring because you can replay a level a lot of times without making any progress, unless you specifically follow the quest markers to find where the next puzzle piece is. I would assume I would find more clues just by exploring every inch of the level, but no, the clues are just in these specific places where it tells you to go anyways. And what's even worse is that if you kill everyone in the morning and then you come back in the next I guess noon is the next one, and then everyone's alive again. What's up with that? They're all wearing masks, so they're probably different people, but come on. You telling me they cleaned all these corpses just so they could repopulate the area? Very frustrating. I didn't enjoy multiplayer, it was too laggy. I really loved the Dishonored game series by the same developers. I feel like this one was a bit of a letdown, but it's mildly interesting, so yeah, it was place 11. Number 10, Mini Motorways. It's just a fun little game where you can build cars till you get spammed with too many little cars and then you die in a huge traffic jam. Basically, you just play till you get a high score. I really like how simplified this game is. I could play it for hours. But it feels like it gets too hard too quickly, because it just randomly, inconveniently spawns buildings where you have no chance of getting cars to them. Oh well. Alright, take it away, Big Smoke.
Number 9.
Number 9 is Hob. It's a cute little adventure game where you solve puzzles and beat up little monsters. The ending wasn't very satisfying, but I really liked the art style and the exploration. It's really cool to see how the level changes as you progress and as you eliminate the corruption and as you bring back the water. It's very nice and very calming. Sometimes I get stuck, but it's all pretty good. Number 8, Journey to the Savage Planet. It's a cute game where you find interesting aliens and shoot them. The main selling point to me was that it was co-op. Not sure I would recommend playing it alone. It's fairly short and the ending is dumb, but it's cool to play with a friend. Also, the gun is annoying. Why doesn't it... Why do you have such a shitty little pistol that has to reload all the time? Jesus. Bring big gun, please. Number 7, It Takes Two. Guess this one really needs to be co-op. It's impossible to play it alone. It literally takes two. This game has amazing graphics, but the writing and the humor is super cringe. I skip every time that stupid book comes and tries to fix our marriage. But in the end it has a very satisfying story with a beautiful world that you linearly travel through. Each chapter has new and interesting mechanics of how you can teamwork with your little dolls. New puzzles to solve with teamwork. Guess we got to the good part of the list. Now you're gonna ask, why isn't this list full of only good things? Well, games aren't that good, okay? Or maybe I'm just too negative. Anyways, number 6, the Riftbreaker. You thought I wanted to bring bigger guns to alien planets? Well, here you go. This game's by the same developers as X-Morph and Zombie Drivers. 2 games that I really liked and put on my previous list. It was pretty fun to play and build a huge base on a hostile planet. Can you survive until you've managed to build a rift that allows the humans to colonize this planet? Probably, but you're gonna need a lot more resources than you think. Probably more resources than the game tells you that you need. I had to reload several times. Sadly, after the final battle, the game goes on, but all the enemies now stop attacking you, which is weird. I get it, environmentalism, yes, fine. We choose to live in harmony with nature. But what's the point? Now I have all these weapons and nothing to use them on. And the survival mode isn't much fun either, because you always have to start building your base from scratch and mining resources and doing the research tree instead of just being able to focus on combat. I don't like it. I really loved the game until I beat it. Too bad, it doesn't seem to have as much replay value as their previous games. Or maybe I'm just too bad at survival mode. Maybe I should try it again, if I have the time. Number 5, Dwarf Romantic. You probably saw this game on Steam, and apparently it's gone viral. And for good reason, it's very addictive. I could snap these little tiles together forever. In fact, I played it all day yesterday, today, and the day before. Don't tell my coworkers where I've been. This game was very flawed at the beginning, very bad performance. Now I have a better computer and it still has bad performance if you make a really big level, okay. Well, whatever. Most people don't get that far. You'd think a game that looks as cute and simple as this wouldn't require cutting-edge video cards, but here we go. This game is based on getting a high score, playing till you die. Well, till you run out of tiles, I guess. And then I guess your dwarf just remains unfinished, forever in limbo.
Why are we still here?
And with this last update, they made really good additions. of an undo button, which makes the whole thing much more enjoyable. I ruined many good runs with misclicks, you know, but no more. I don't have time to play Elden Ring. Dwarf has added an undo button. You think I'm gonna play Elden Ring now? Nope. I'm trying, but I can't stop playing Dwarf. They're pretty slow to update, but I hope they add more modes soon. I got a really crazy high score yesterday. I hope I can beat it soon. I want to make the biggest Dwarf of all time. They may have made it a lot easier with that last patch. Guess I better play before they come to their senses. I guess it's pretty hard for them to tweak. Apparently, like the rate at which you get quests is really important and really hard for them to get right. Now they've made it that you get like a reasonable amount, which means that you could potentially play for a really long time. Previously it would just stop giving you quests halfway through, and then that was the end, and you'd have to fulfill the ones you got, and that would take forever, and then you'd run out of tiles. Anyways, really love this game. Number 4, Brutal Orchestra. Just wow, this game. Apparently this artist was inspired by my, and more importantly, Edmund's work. It's so cool to see that I've been in this industry so long that now people have grown up with my work that I made 10 years ago. Maybe 15? Yeah. Just look at these tasty pixels. This is a roguelike, by the way. I love having a party of hideous monsters that brutally murders random encounters of equally horrible monsters and fish. Based on graphics from a medieval painting adopted into pixel art. But more importantly, the gameplay is brilliant. It's a turn-based game where you use pigment from the blood of your enemies to cast abilities that deal damage or heal your party. But if you have too much pigment, you'll take damage. So some of the enemies will spill out pigment in order to throw off your game or kill you. And I love that. Having too much of a good thing hurts you. Basically, you gotta use your abilities in the optimal way to make sure you don't lose too much health, and you can beat all the enemies. If you get hit too much, it'll be hard to reach the boss and beat the game. And this game has permadeath, so if you lose all your guys, you'll have to start over. This might be the only roguelike out there that I actually like, so give it a try. It meets my really high standard for roguelikes. And they're actually updating this game a lot, so look forward to more grotesque abominations to fight. And check out this ball frog item that you can get that makes you bounce around crazy. I can't wait. Number 3, Summer in Mara. It's a game about a little girl growing satisfying little plants to make the people of Mara happy. Well, if you think about it realistically, it's a game about a little girl alone on an island with her adopted grandma, a crazy fish monster, as her sole contact. But then, oh no, the grandma dies, and the little girl has to fend for herself, clawing at the dirt, trying to grow plants just in time for her to eat before she dies from starvation. Good thing the crops only take like a day to grow, and the game isn't really that dark. I guess it's funny to admit, but one of the main reasons why I like this game is because it has this one really catchy tune in its soundtrack and just keeps playing when you're on the home island occasionally, and I just get really invested. Well, anyways, I enjoy turning this little girl into a mega capitalist, growing ridiculous amounts of food and cotton to sell to the inhabitants of the surrounding islands. That was really fun. And then there's a story about aliens and stuff, but it's good. You should check it out. Number 2, Yokus Island Express. This game apparently has invented an entirely new genre. It's a Metroidvania pinball game. Your little dung beetle has to explore an island and deliver mail. And you roll your ball until it enters a pinball area. And then you get thrown around by the reckless whims of the player. Once you hit enough fruit or keys or whatever, a little hole will open, allowing you to move on with your exploration, or to find a new pinball area. It's crazy how much the concept of pinball is improved by having a large level that you can explore and play pinball in. And it has a fun little story. It's really interesting to find out what happened to this island and why the Godslayer has come to it. Enjoy it, but don't bother collecting all the secret stuff unless you're really into it. The secret ending isn't worth it. And now number 1, drum roll. Temple of Snek. They did it. They finally made Snek into a Metroidvania puzzle game. This Snek is trapped in an Aztec sacrificial temple, and the only way to progress is to solve the puzzles and eat the humans. But don't let the beautiful graphics fool you. This game is worth very much investing your time. If you like puzzle games, that is. When I played the game it was only 25% done, but those were very satisfying and promising to play. I think I finished the life of one Snek. I'm pretty sure I've grown too big that they would not continue with that snake and instead you just play as a fresh new one that hatched from one of the eggs. Because you grow bigger on each level and you never become smaller, so I assume they probably have different Sneks that play. But who knows, maybe you play as this one for a while. Well, really looking forward to seeing what they've come up with next. They probably made more than 25% by now, but maybe I should wait for it to be fully done. I don't know. Anyways, that is my list for 2021. Sorry I was late. I stopped making videos for a while as I was busy bringing out my new game Ballfrog. Check it out if you haven't already, it's on Steam. Yeah, that's right, I'm no longer the guy who hasn't released a game in 10 years. Whoa! So anyways, there, now you have 13 cool games to check out. And if you want, you can check out my other lists that I made starting in 2016. A new top 10 list every year, full of cool games that you might not have heard about. Please watch them. I need your watch time. Watch them now. I may be a Himsl games now, but I'm still a squid character in these stories, okay, in these videos. I'm still a squid, even though I'm a Himsl games. Subscribe!